As most of you know, in our case, until the age of 16 years old, my sister was diagnosed with CDG. Sorry, my sister's show. So my sister is there. So until the age of 16 years old, my sister was diagnosed with cerebral palsy. So we knew actually that the path would be a long path. At the age of 16 years old, we received our diagnosis of CDG1A, and we felt that actually the path was quite different. And as almost everybody in this room, we started to be confused and lost. So the first reaction is what everybody does. We went to internet, and in 1996 we were very lucky to have one mother to Paul, that did the CDG Family Network website in the United States of America. And I'm very grateful to Donna, because she did an amazing work. There we could find what was CDG, which professionals were behind CDG, and they even put their contact, their telephone number and emails. This was amazing. And we could also read the family's histories. So when we started to read the website, the direction of our life was completely different than the others. And the other families, they were too far away. In 1996, they were in the United States of America. So we spent 10 years until we found the families, CDG families in Europe. So 10 years of isolation. So what was the meaning of being diagnosed with PMM2 CDG or CDG1A? So we started to read all the websites and articles that we could, and we started to acquire a new vocabulary. And so you start to read, it's chronic, it's disabled, life-threatening, all kind of words that we don't want to read when you love someone. So, and then understanding CDG, it was quite hard, a lot of symptoms to manage. We could not find the specialized treatment care center. And then we switched off immediately to the section of treatment. There was no treatment, no cure. There was lack of funding for research. So the panorama was quite hard for us to understand. And we start to feel this feeling of terror or fear, which is actually produced by a real situation. We panic, and we were very stressful and anxious. So immediate needs. The immediate needs were information, community building, and outreach. We felt also that there was a little bit of lack of advocacy and a lot of lack of research. So on 10 of March 2010, we set it up, the Portuguese Association for CDG. We started from zero, but we had some characteristics that really could help us moving forward. My mom and I, we were very determined in 2010 with a lot of passion. We wanted to be volunteer for the association with a lot of courage, patience, hard work. We wanted really to do something different. And we had one single goal: advancing progress of medical science to ensure the development of very fast therapies for CDG in our lifetime, which in the case of CDG is quite equivalent to boldly go where no man has gone before. So the first decisions, this was a very personal decision, and I dedicated 9 months to CDG. And the second decision, I realized I needed to do networking. So I immediately went to PubMed and Orphanet, because there we find all the contacts of medical doctors, lab diagnoses, patient associations. It's wonderful. Also the societies of knowledge and other patient advocacy groups. So we did a lot of volunteer work. We gave a lot of time to Eurordis, and we are very happy that Eurordis exists to defend the voice of the patients with rare diseases. And to be honest, I think that the outcomes of this networking is all the work that we have done in collaboration with so many volunteers and collaborators. We already saw it, so we have been patient representatives in international events. We did, and we do our conferences for CDG and also for the rare diseases in general. We have been very lucky because we have been involved in many projects as volunteers. So we have a wonderful partnership with the reference website, Guia Metabolica. We did a lot of resources. We have been and we are co-researchers because we write scientific projects, one with Paulo Videira dedicated to glycoimmunology, and so on and so on. And recently we also started our own ideas and projects. And I think this is a kind of this is the result of the time that we gave for the others, and this allows us to have some visibility and to be reliable. So it was wonderful, and I'm very proud to share with you that we have like almost more than 100 volunteers that contributed to our very small association. So this is just amazing for us. Although, even if we did a lot of work, families continue to have a lot of challenges. And I will not go in detail to this conference, but to this slide, but I mean, families still need an educational roadmap, need to know what to do in the adult phase, etc. And interestingly, I had the occasion to interview several key stakeholders for CDG, and they have a lot of challenges in the field of orphan drugs development. And one of them is related to the isolation and distribution of patients worldwide. And another difficulty, very big, is that we have still many CDGs to be discovered. So this means that many new families will be diagnosed and they will have different needs, and we need still to give them some answers. So in order to address the current needs of the CDG community, we think that it is very important to advocate. And this is something that I have in common with Andrea Berarducci, because she has also professional background in this area. So this is wonderful, the combination of working with Andrea, because we move forward. And Andrea, a few years ago, she has this idea of this beautiful logo of the heart. It was Andrea's idea. So because it was important to raise awareness, to create a brand image, and to do researches. Although we want to address CDG community needs, but we need money to produce whatever project that we want to move forward. So last year, we started a wonderful project for you always, one CD, one live CDG, and we started to sell CDs, music CDs like crazy. And I'm happy to share with you that we really got 9,000 euros. And with these 9,000 euros, we gave one part to the Guia Metabolica. We generated a research scholarship to Maria Monticelli. She's here, so we are happy that she won this fellowship. And other projects, and also the most important right now to highlight is the projects that we have done with the graphic designer Diogo Sampaio. So I want to finish just to tell you that some lessons learned with the patient association for CDG. So there are many challenges that put us in risk, and I will go through very fast. So at the end, you need money to run your organization. It's very difficult to find money for CDG patients associations. You need to be professionalized. You need to have a technology. You have to have a website to show what you are doing. So it's very, very hard, the work that the patient associations are doing for CDG. So some ideas that I wanted to share with you on how to run a non-profit organization representing CDG. I think it is we have always to think that it is only with the heart that one can see rightly. And what is essential is invisible to the eye. And we have many challenges, but we have to believe yourself, to challenge yourself, to have audacity, tenacity, and we need to dream big. And I know that Julia probably is thinking that, I mean, it's the same, that the same feeling to everybody. So we need to ask for help, we need to join others, we need to respect the ideas from the others. And we need to positive thinking, because we really, I mean, every time that we say we want to do this project, you cannot imagine how many people that tells me that we will not manage. Or, I mean, you will face so many challenges, you should give up, don't do it. So we really need to be positive thinking. And we need to think that the more united we are, the stronger we are. And we need to think that the change is possible, and actually we can make the kites flying because we didn't give up. So as for the future, I want to take this opportunity to share one feeling that I have since a long time. So the future, I want to do many birthdays, parties with the best quality of life. I want CDG's children and adults integrated and independent. Is that possible? Yes, because since 2 years ago I became fanatic for pharmacological chaperones. I love chaperones, and I want a clinical trial for CDG1A with chaperones. Can we do it? Yes, we can. We have an excellent biotech company, Minorix Therapeutics in Spain, that is joining forces with basic researchers, Belén Pérez González, and they are developing amazing results with chaperones, and they are with Mercedes Serrano, with Begoña Nafria, Belén Pérez Dueñas. They are developing the Rare Commons, which is a project that complements the other project that exists around the world. So we have to take the opportunity to ask to Begoña and to Mercedes about how can I be in this project, because it will be very helpful for Minorix and to Belén Pérez González to develop this idea. And they are working in collaboration with patients groups. So this is very important, and we cannot lose this opportunity. But obviously, we need to keep calm. We need basically to be united and really focus on the developments of pharmacological chaperones and to show that the impossible can become possible. So the challenges will be many, but I'm sure that with the patient associations that are in contact with the patients, we can do this challenge happening. So I don't go through all these slides. So I want to finish the presentation by showing our future plans. So we have plans in the field of information and educational pilot program for CDG. So first we will target cities in Portugal that don't ask for CDG diagnosis so often. So we want to educate these medical doctors. Community building, we will announce the third World Conference on CDG, advocacy. So we started with the other patient associations, the process of the recognition of the World Congenital Disorders of Glycosylation Day. And in Portugal, we are quite advanced, so we asked for the National CDG Disease Awareness Day. We asked for the 29th of January, so it is under, they are doing, it will take time, so, but yeah, we are on the process. And then the other projects, I prefer to finish my presentation and to say to you where we stand today. So after this long path of receiving the CDG diagnosis, I can share with you that actually we are in peace and we have a lot of serenity. So my parents, they did a wonderful job. They were all the time listening. So they, so yeah, because my father, he could not come, so it's my father, my mother, and my sister. So they did a wonderful job, and they always listening to me. So I think that's important if you have other child to listen to them, because they are just amazing. So it's always very difficult to speak about the feelings, no, of people that we love, but they are my cornerstones, they are my everything. So I want to acknowledge to everybody, to all families, to all patient advocacy groups, to all professionals, Guia Metabolica, to all volunteers that are helping us, Paul Moranda, Janine, everybody that makes this conference possible. And thanks also to all community, because we are uniquely united and different. So I want to end my presentation.